Hey, randomites, welcome to the show. Today I'm being joined by my brother, a guy who taught me over the years about how to become a good human being and become a good man. He was the man of the house for a good portion of my childhood, and you know what? Now he's pursuing his dreams of becoming a pro streamer on Twitch. We're going to drop his Twitch stream here in the podcast, so let's give a warm welcome to my brother, the one, the only Kevin Hoohuli.
Mostly, I feel like Michael, Baby Berenstein.
Yeah.
He's the one who's always telling me. He's like, "Oh, so and so is about to fight," and I'm like, "Oh, I should probably watch that."
You're gonna need to pull it because
Yeah.
I can hear the reverb. Oh, you're gonna have to make an adjustment probably.
Adjust.
Why don't you
Okay,
just if you pull it like this, pull it straight down.
Straight down.
Yeah,
I wonder if that'll work better.
probably because you were leaning into it. So
Yeah.
I think that's good.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I'm already live, so I don't know if you're about to start yours soon, but
Oh, mine's already started.
oh, okay. All right. So,
Oh, no editing here, sir. I'm putting it straight on just like that.
well, that's the point of live streaming. Come on.
I know. Well,
It's a good thing nobody's here yet. So.
I'm gonna plug the page both times. I'm gonna plug it now, and I'm gonna plug your page at the end too. So I'm live right now with Kevin. He is Uncle Marshmallow to my kids. Funny story about that. So he used to call Carly Marshmallow because she's super white, which she is. And then she didn't know how to say Kevin, which is an easy name to say, so she would call him Marshmallow, Uncle Marshmallow. Now all my kids call him Marshmallow. They all call him Uncle Marshmallow. He's a Twitch game. He's a streamer. What's your Twitch stream? What's
So
it
that's
called?
twitch.tv/LazyPaniolo. And what's up, Michael? I see you on our stream right now.
What's
says
up,
he-
Baby Berenstein?
He says he wishes he could be here.
You know what? We should have invited him.
I did actually invite him. Well, I told him that we might be doing this, and this was super last minute. So, unfortunately, I mean, maybe next time we'll get him on here.
Yeah, for sure. So this is my first step into getting gamers onto my show.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm going after everybody. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna have a professional Russian boxer on. You're gonna get some Russian listeners." I'm like, "Yup, I want those." And they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have pro gamers on your show." "Yep, I want the nerds too." And they're like, "Okay, how about the Asian community? Man, I love me some Dinaguan. Let's go. I want all of them.
Guan.
I want every single listener." And then they're like, "Oh, you want to do it because for like monetary value?" Nope, I don't care about money. I love my career. I just I love to hear myself talk, and I want everybody to love to hear me talk.
You know what's funny is that this is something definitely just a podcast is something I could completely see you doing, because growing up he would not ever shut up. It was something like mom would always be yelling at him, like, be like, "Will you shut it?" I mean, obviously there were probably some explicits that were said,
Yeah.
but
Mom is
we'll keep
crazy.
it clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not on explicit on the on iTunes, and they'll take you down.
Oh yeah.
I'm only gonna say good things about them though. iTunes, we love you. As you can see, we have the Apple MacBook Pro.
Plugs.
I know. Well, no. So my first one that I did, I was plugging a bunch of companies, and I made the joke. I was like, I'm gonna send them a bunch of stuff, a bunch of the clips of me plugging their product, and then I just want them to send me the checks later. And then I was like, what if I get a cease and desist letter? I think it'd be funny, man. Screw it. Let's go.
It'd be like, yeah, we never want you to say anything about our products ever again.
Yeah. The other one is because everybody says I'm like the Christian Joe Rogan, or they say I sound like his buddy Brendan Schaub, and I'm like, oh, you know what though? If enough people say that, then maybe I'll get on his show and then I'll get plugged, because thousands of listeners is not enough for me. I want millions.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the whole reason I kind of got into the streaming, obviously, I've always loved video games, but um, it's something that, like for me personally, I always go back to video games. I've tried to not play them for a while, and it's and especially seeing how successful a lot of these guys are now. It's still it's a hobby, obviously, but it's something that I could definitely see myself moving into as a career if it happened. I mean, obviously, I'm not so blinded to where I don't understand that. I mean, 95% of the community isn't making it as a streamer, but this is, it's something that I'm starting to get really passionate about trying. And this is like the first step I've already done is the past couple months. I really got into my streams, started streaming, trying to do it mostly daily when the wife would allow. Uh, so it's
She's not in the studio or anything, guys.
she's not. Yeah,
She's not sitting right in
not
front of
sitting
us.
across from the table, looking right at me right now. But yeah, definitely. If it happens, great. If not, it's definitely a fun hobby. I have my ghetto rig set up.
Dude, that's like, you'll never forget that. Like, I have the ghetto rig too. It's funny because the stream can only see what's behind us, which looks like fine, right? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's got a home studio. Like, you don't get it, man. I've got like moving blankets and comforters used as sound treatments right now. Like, oh yeah, you can spend $110 and get some acoustic foam from Amazon. It's like, psh, why do that, man? I got comforters. Who cares? I'll never forget these times though, man, because when I do have like a studio, I'm gonna look back at these times and be like, you know what? I remember the old comforter days. The comforter days was that's where it was at. That's what, you gotta enjoy the ride. Like when you make it, if you don't realize that when you make it, it's that ride to get there. What's funny about you as a gamer is I remember it didn't matter what game it was growing up. Oh, to put some context on it, I know I said my kids call him uncle and everything, but above that, he's like actually my brother. It's just not my kids don't just call him uncle. He's like, his last name is Hoohuli as well. So it's funny that when I say that, I actually mean that. He's my blood brother. But I lost my train of thought because my kids just got home.
Little heads popping in.
I know. Oh, yeah, I was talking about you as when I was a kid. So I remember, like, even when you went off to college, it was so funny when you it didn't matter what game it was, you were always the best at that game of anybody that I knew.
Oh, yeah, like what was it? Initial D actually was.
Yeah.
It was so random. It was just I was at college, and one day I walked over to the bowling alley, and there's just this game I'd never heard of. It was the original Initial D. I played it, and I'm like, I got hooked instantly. And then, like, yeah, just...
Didn't that game have the cards and everything?
It did.
I think I got into it, too, but it was like it wasn't... I was never great. I've never been fantastic at video games.
Yeah, so, but yeah, it was... and I don't know what happened. I just, like, it was something, it maybe very... Because our family's really competitive, and I was like, no, I have to get... I want to be the best. And, I definitely went through the huge nerd phase of I legitimately ended up with a racing team down there for a video game that we would go, like these guys actually reached out to me and were saying, hey, we want to go, at the time I was in Long Beach, and they're like, hey, we want to drive out to Irvine. We want to go and race against these guys that are playing down there. And, they claim to be the best in this and that. And, so we went out there. And of course, I had to, show up, which I did. And I mean, long story short, I definitely felt like I was. I mean, there was one track in specific that nobody could beat me.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the one where you had to have like a Honda, though, right?
Yeah, so yeah, and that's the thing. It got down to where specifically each track had a car that was the best. And
that was like the meta.
Yeah, and that was the meta at the time. And I was like, so I'm going to get that car. I don't care how ugly it is. I got it. And I got the fastest track time. And I mean, there were so many different versions of this game. But at one point, I was the fastest on Hapagahara. for version 2 on the West Coast, and the only guy that was beating me was some random guy that lived in Virginia.
I thought it was like that Canadian dude who like
No.
drove automatics.
No,
Wasn't he like one of the best too? I remember some of these stories. I don't remember it like you will because it just wasn't like my thing.
And it sucks because this was so long ago that the rankings and everything have already gone down, but at the time that was kind of the beginning of when the internet was exploding. And so, people would you were able to put up your rankings and you could see where you placed against other people. And it was something that drove my competitive edge, where I'm like, okay, I just saw this guy beat me. And I'm like, so I hit like the next day or, the following day, I'm like, I'm going to the arcade and I'm going to put in probably a solid $20 to figure out how I'm going to make my time faster. And that's really what it came down to. I was so competitive. It didn't matter what game, like you were saying.
Yeah. No, I remember like we would have Street Fighter tournaments and we would have to make Kevin, because Kevin's the only one who was like, he'd go to Evo tournaments and play video games against other pros. And like, when it came to first person shooters, I was pretty good. I was on a Halo team and, we did pretty well. And the team's still around, but not to the level of what Kevin did. Like Kevin was and still is like one of the best gamers that I know. And it's funny because I don't play with him anymore. But when we used to play these Street Fighter tournaments, he'd have to play the crappiest players. Like he had to play Bullrog. Bullrog was one of them, and the other one was Dan, right? Dan is the one with like the little blast Hadouken.
Well, yeah, Dan was definitely the only reason I would play Balrog against you. He wasn't bad. It was I just didn't play him ever, so I didn't know any combos. So it was fair, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to. I played what they call footsies in the fighting game community. I mean, it's very basic, like just spacing and getting certain hits in, and the very simple 1-2-3 combo. Like that was it.
It's so funny. You talk about video games the way I talk about jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna get lambasted for that comment. I had Gustavo Enriquez. He is a 3rd degree jiu-jitsu black belt. He's my professor, the kids' professor as well, and he's like a monster of a jiu-jitsu guy. And I had him on, and we did a jiu-jitsu takeover show because I was hoping that I wouldn't talk about jiu-jitsu growing up. And then I was like, as I was saying it, as it left my lips, I was like, no, I can't take that back. So, no, man, I love it. My biggest thing when I started this, I didn't know what it was going to be. And then I was like, what I'm going to do is I want it to be super random because I want to have anybody who can come on who can talk about their passions. Like I'm super passionate about this.
Yeah.
And people are as passionate as I am about the podcast, they are about other things. And so I want like to bring people on who are as passionate as I am about this, about whatever their field is, and just talk about that. Has anybody jumped on?
Actually, I have another comment from It's the Michael. He really wants me to say to make a statement of who the best Apex player on PS4 is, and he wants me to say it's the Michael, which is his gamer handle.
Is it him? Is he the best in your group?
So in our little right now, it's the game Apex Legends. It's another battle royale game, and it's you play 3. There's 20 squads of 3s, and right now Michael and I we're pretty much the only 2 that kind of play regularly. So we're still looking for a 3rd, but there's all this. Michael really feels like he is the best, and I love that. I love playing with the guy that's like he's like, no, I am the best. So
he and I talked about when I was like really playing Destiny, like and I was playing at a high level, like I was playing with other pro players and stuff, and I was playing with this guy, True Vanguard, and it was funny because Michael and I would kind of talk trash back and forth about like who would win, and I'm not a gamer anymore. I mean, I really never was that great anyway, but at Destiny, I think I'm taking Michael out. Sorry, Michael, I'm taking you out, brother. I'll take you out. Queen Breaker's bow, man. No, I'm not I don't know what it is. I think I romanticize being a gamer. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I just don't have the. Like I remember you telling me when you were playing Street Fighter 4, when Street Fighter 4 came out, you were talking about frames per second. And I'm like, what? You calculate out to frames per second when you can counter somebody? That's stupid.
Yeah, it's I mean it's once you hit a certain level in a game where, it's like you hit a point where, and again it's all about the passion. So someone like you would be a casual gamer, like for that type of thing especially. You're not it really you don't have to worry about that. But it's to the point where, you get there and like, you're up against somebody and you go to try to hit somebody and you're like, that should have hit them. Why didn't it hit them? And that's what it comes down to. And I'm really passionate about that. And so I would do that. I would figure out frame data. So it tells you exactly how many frames it takes for this one move to activate, and then after it. So not getting too technical about it. It really comes down to, it comes down to where you are in a game. Like, so if you're a casual gamer, you're not ever really going to care about that type of thing.
Yeah.
Actually, like Michael says here, it's, you really do have to have the pro mentality. That's when that type of thing comes in.
Yeah. Michael's trying to be on the stream,
right?
Without being on the stream.
Exactly.
I don't know if my listeners are going to get to my Instagram post in time.
Oh, yeah. So the funny thing is though, I got into Apex and it really goes into an area where I really never dabbled because I felt like it was a weakness. So like fighting games, it doesn't matter, what game it is. I can be competitive about it. But first-person shooters, it's funny. You were talking about that, and there would be most of the games we played, like Halo, things like that. I mean, you were better than me, and I'm like, I couldn't figure out why. It just never
Not
really.
anymore.
It never really like appealed to me. I never cared for first-person shooters, and especially, I mean, even now with these battle royale games. I still don't really care for them that much, but for whatever reason, I actually have a lot of fun with Apex, and that's the main reason I've been playing it so much.
So you hear that, Michael? In his second favorite type of video game, you're just barely better, if not better than him. That was really what was just said. I don't know if you know that or not, but I bore witness to that.
Oh, actually, quick story. We were at a tent sale. And this is when Michael first found out how good I really was at fighting games. So I brought my I think I brought the PS3, and we had a bunch of games. And he was like, "Well, I'll play you in whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll be, it's like I'm good at everything." And I put in, obviously, I'm like, well, okay, let's see, and just for fun,
MVC?
so I put in Ultimate
Which is like
Marvel.
your pro game.
It's my favorite game. I pop it in, and I just go to work. And I think he might have, he got a few hits, and he was just, I think he was stunned from the whole thing. Like while it's going, I think it's one of those when you hit a moment when you're playing and you're just like, wait, this guy is on a completely different level. And it was almost like he kind of gave up almost. He's just like, yeah, he's really good at this.
I love how you go, he got a couple, and you're thinking in your head, and listeners at home are going to be like,
Yeah.
are going to be like, you're thinking is to say he won a couple games, but it's like, oh, he got a couple hits.
Hits. Yeah.
And then, no, I told Michael, I remember when Michael was saying that he heard that you were good at fighting games, and he was at the Dodge store, and I literally told him, I was like, no, you don't understand, bro. Kevin's on another level when it comes to fighting games. Like he fights pros. That's what he does. He's without the sponsorships. I think your issue has always been that you don't have like that super you don't have like that giggly what's the best way to put it? Like Ryan Higa. And there's no disrespect to Ryan Higa. That guy's built a brand. Do you know who that is? He's a YouTube streamer. He's not a gamer, but he plays video games and streams, but he's not like a pro gamer.
Yeah, so it's all content.
He makes a bunch of films or like YouTube films, but he got super big because he has like that, like movie star mentality where he's like super out there, and all actions are. He's got Ryan Higa, who's at home, which is probably normal. And then he has Ryan Higa, who people know on YouTube. And this guy's got like 28 million followers and stuff like that. He's like, I think he was awarded at one point. He was like the most the most followers or something. I don't remember what it is. I didn't do enough. I didn't do any back research on it. I didn't think I was going to talk about him. I actually watch his podcast. He has a podcast called Off the Pill. He's doing everything now. But I watch his podcast on YouTube. It's pretty good. But he built a brand based on his personality. And although you have obviously you have a lot of friends and you're rich in friends because you have a good personality. What you don't do is you don't take your personality and times it by 10 when you're on camera. And I think that's like giving you some disservice, whereas these other guys, other pros who are fighting game pros, you beat, but you can't, you're not getting the sponsorships and everything. I think it's that lack of like the fake character. Ashley Gabby's asking for you.
Definitely.
She just texted me, where's Gabby? She's not actually asking for you. I think she's just wondering where you are. It's probably easier if you walk that way. So my wife got home about 15 minutes ago, and Gabby and Ashley are friends. And Gabby's been sitting here staring at her phone the entire time. Like, you guys are seriously talking about video games you guys are going to talk about video games for an hour and a half, aren't you?
Snore.
Not her thing.
Oh, and just so Michael can clarify.
She can't get out. She's all, what do I do?
So we're going to clarify for Michael because he said, yes, he agrees. I'm on a whole different level for fighting games. So, yes, Michael. So, I mean, as far as other games, he's, honestly, I like playing with him because he's in that game. I'm still like,
is Fortnite dead with you guys?
I would say yes. I mean, Fortnite was never really, I wasn't really that into it to begin with. I think I played it mostly because everybody else was playing it that I knew. And I really wanted to, Fortnite is still technically like a third-person shooter. It's not a first-person shooter.
Yeah. No, you can you can do first-person though, right?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you could.
No. But yeah, so it's pretty much dead. I know we've kind of talked about it. It's like, oh, maybe we should hop back on there. And I'm like, honestly, I just have no drive to do that. So
I joined in season 3 and I think I was done at season 5.
Yeah.
I literally played 2 seasons because it was that boring to me.
Yeah. I think what it was for me, I liked what draws a lot of people. I liked the building aspect, or that it was something different.
Yeah, so, but then it got to another level. Like all the metas, all the guys who were really good were just good they were best at building. They were okay at the other shooting portion, but it was really the building portion. Like I would shoot at somebody and then they'd build this 5-star resort in front of me. I'm like, okay, yeah, you got a Marriott in front of me. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a lot of these guys, most of them that were doing that were playing on PC, and that was the problem we were running into. Is I played on PC just because I couldn't do it with the controller. I couldn't figure out how these guys were building so fast. And at the end of the day, nobody's going to build as fast as the PC guys, because when you have, each button specifically will go to a different weapon or a different build type. So it's that was the problem. Is a lot of the guys most of the people I played with were people that I work with, and they were all just like, they're like, bro, get off of the PC, get on the PS4. I'm like, if I do that, I can't play. It's like, I'm going to be terrible.
Well, I feel like it's like that with any game, right? Like the meta is always going to be on PC because you have the fastest, like your mouse is going to be faster than what your thumb can do no matter what, right?
Yes. Yeah, no,
100%. I was good at video games, but like you were good at other games too. Like I remember when Dota came out, and Dota was like a spin-off of a game that was created by like two like buddies, right, in college or something like that. They built it on a map, on a Warcraft map or whatever.
Yeah, so Dota,
and then it turned into League of Legends. It's like, what?
Well, yeah, so Dota was created as a custom map from Warcraft 3, or it was actually a Frozen Throne. Warcraft 3, and so it was an expansion, and it just that custom map got so popular that everybody was playing it, and they ended up creating their own game eventually, which became Dota 2. But before that, yes, there were League of Legends came out, which was basically, I'm gonna say, is still a knockoff of Dota, and
I agree.
It's a knockoff. So
I for sure agree.
Yeah.
And it's way more famous now.
But it's popular because they appeal to the masses, because it's very cutesy, which is, I mean, it's the appeal of Fortnite. It's very, it's bubbly, colorful, and that's what people like. It's fine. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Well, aesthetically, it's astounding. It's the same thing with Fortnite. Fortnite is aesthetically beautiful because it's like so colorful and vibrant, and so like it just gets. My wife is here. We've only been recording for 24 minutes because it took so long to get everything going. Come here. I want to hug and kiss but I want all the listeners to hear how loving I am with my wife.
It's the first live stream, so he can actually show it. And oh yeah, the funny thing is, if you're wondering why the video quality is terrible, I forgot to bring the camera.
Why'd you say Aunt Gabby? I don't see Gabby.
Yeah.
What?
Huh? What do you mean?
So
Gabby's here.
this is
She went
it's
to
funny
find
because
you.
this seems so
Are you
awkward,
serious?
and it's like just the two happy married
I've been all over the house.
couple is just
No,
like,
I swear
what?
she's here. I promise she's here. They can't find each other. The house isn't that big. Whoa, you're gonna tear that stuff down. Oh,
All right.
I peeked a couple times there on the mic because. Anyways, that's. I would like to say that's the only distraction we'll have for the duration of the stream, but I guarantee that's not it, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And so and then one more side topic. Yes, Michael, you are going to come on next time. We'll figure out when we can do this, and it'll be a lot better. We'll actually have I'll bring my camera. I'll actually have you bring yours, because what I want to do is we're going to set up multiple cameras.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one too. You know what? Let's do it. But let's
Yeah.
do I want to do a YouTube one.
That's fine.
For me,
Yeah.
you guys do yours on Twitch, and
Yeah.
I'll stream. We'll have to find a way to connect all three. I'm not an AV guy. The fact that I have like this professional grade equipment is all because of like other people. I don't know anything about any of this.
Yeah, they're
I
like,
don't know
"Hey."
how a mixer works. I just know that I plug in XLR cables into this mixer, and the mixer goes into this cloud lifter, which gives me louder gain so you guys can hear me better, and then that goes into the mics. That's all I know. And then it goes into this computer. If the world were to end, I would not know how to go on. Like, I know how to work this phone, but I don't know how to make this phone work. You know, so I'm like, I'd be terrible. Like, I already know how it is. If the world were to end tomorrow, like, I die hour one.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't make good decisions. You guys are gonna live. Ashley will live for a while too. She might keep me around too.
She might keep you around. Yeah.
She might keep me around. I'm good for a couple of things.
All right, Mike.
We're married. You guys use your imagination.
Thanks for stopping by the stream, Mike.
Is he leaving?
Yeah. He said
right.
he's got to go.
I know. I posted on Instagram like literally at 6:30 that at 6:30 I was doing a live stream, which kind of sucks. And my listeners, I don't think, know your stream, so I was kind of hoping that we would get like a huge influx of them within a 15-30 minute span.
Yeah, we've got people, coming in and out. But I mean,
They
next
go
time
in
we'll be prepared. Next time we'll actually.
I know.
This was really, really last minute. We just like, hey, let's just run it. I mean, it's like the pilot,
Yeah. Well, eventually I want to do this where I'm streaming all the time.
Yeah.
But what's really crappy is that we have no lighting in here, and I have studio lighting like that I can use. So
Yeah.
it's
But it's
not here. I didn't know we were gonna do it. So last night we were talking about possibly doing this,
yeah.
and then he texted me. It was unexpected because I didn't know if he was even into doing it or not. I mean, it's like, it's one of those weird things, right? Like, he's my brother, so I'm like, I don't know if my brother wants to do anything like this, but at the end of the day, he's like a normal person, so he's like, yeah, like, that sounds fun, let's go. And then he started texting me, and then he's like, hey, I can do it tomorrow, which is pretty cool. And then now we're here. So this is the pilot. I have a few people who are going to probably be regulars.
Yeah.
One of them is Mikey Diamonds. I don't know if you listened to the podcast with him.
That was actually the first one I had listened to.
That's
That was the latest one because I pulled it up and I was just like, boom.
Yeah, he's a former rapper. Like a good rapper though, like good music videos. He's like, it wasn't like I brought on a guy who like made a mixtape once.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a guy who toured. He toured with like bands, like giant guy. There's a he showed me one of the videos of him tour while he was on tour, and it's got to be 10,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm like, dope. You made me cooler by having you on because I'm
Right.
pretty nerdy.
He's like, yep, I got a rapper on.
Yeah, I had a rapper on. I've had a professional fighter on. Actually, I haven't even aired that one. It will air before this one airs.
Yeah.
Although the live stream is happening before I finished editing that episode.
Yeah.
But I've had and I'll have a world champion on. I have Oleg Moskov coming on. I've talked about it in every podcast, and he was supposed to come on today, and I had to cancel. His daughter listens to the podcast. His daughter's a fan. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's sick.
So, and then I have a couple things lined up, man, but I need to, I'm trying to get this thing over 20,000 listeners. When I get there, that's kind of the goal. You know what's funny is let's get Thomas DeRozier on the phone real quick. Thomas DeRozier, just so you guys do know, my listeners will know that Thomas DeRozier is Pablo. And we call him Thomas we call him Pablo for weird reasons. I'm going to tell him to jump on the stream so he can see it live.
Yeah.
See what he's missing.
Oh, he's the sound guy too, right? So
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I trained him. He does.
so
Hold on, let's go.
yeah, he can let us know if
Hey, Thomas. You know what you're on right? You know what you're on right now?
What am I on right now?
You're on unscripted randomness with Ikaika.
Oh, fantastic.
Not only that, we're live streaming right now.
We're live streaming right now?
Well, I'm live streaming on Twitch with so I have this pro gamer on right now. So if you go on to Twitch, what's the plug?
twitch.tv/lazypaniolo.
Paniolo is PAN
PANIOLO.
and that means cowboy in Hawaiian, by the way, and I didn't need anyone to spell that out for me before the podcast. I totally knew that. I have no
Are
Hawaiian
you just
cred.
saying that?
I am just saying that. I have no Hawaiian cred. I had to ask him, and I felt super embarrassed when it was done.
Well, hey, all you need to know how to spell is Ikaika, right? And Hoohuli.
And Hoohuli and Kapono. That's my middle name. So those are the only Hawaiian names in my immediate family because my wife's name is Ashley. My kids all have white names. So
Well, doesn't your siblings have some pretty Americanized names too?
Kevin and Justin, yeah, I would say so. I would say that they have some pretty. Anyways, I wanted to get you on because you're normally on the show, because you're my producer, and you weren't on yesterday, and you are not on today, and I'm sad. But the very next episode we're doing is Oleg, and you're for sure gonna have to be there for the Oleg one.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I'm doing this podcast with my boss.
Yeah, no kidding. So, hey, Pablo,
Yes, sir.
I don't need you to look anything up. You know I'm sitting in your... Actually, jump on the stream real quick. Tell us what we look like. Tell us how handsome we are.
Hold on, I gotta borrow my dad's computer. I think he's on it right now. He's booking. So they've started this tradition. My dad and stepmom, because she's from Minnesota, and my dad's a Vikings and Twins fan. So they started this tradition last year, where they fly there for about a week, and they catch a full Twin series and a Vikings game.
Okay. Well, hey,
So-
I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't want the sound quality to be terrible with you on the phone. I love you, man.
Oh, wow.
I will see you at the next one. You will make the Oleg one. I'm gonna send you this link though. Just jump on your phone.
Okay. Yeah. You
All right.
do that, and let me know when we're doing Oleg.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to do it today, but that ended up changing. We'll when it's all booked up, I'll let you know.
All right. Fantastic.
All right. Bye.
I'll look forward to it.
I was gonna get him on. I want to know what it looks like. I haven't done filming. This is the first filming.
Yeah. I mean, you could
sort
have one of them pull it up probably.
Probably. I guess I could just
Unless
do it.
they're doing their own thing. But
Yeah. No, they're doing their own thing. They're doing their lady things.
right.
Plus, Gabby's pregnant, so they're talking pregnancy stuff. In my head, that's what they're talking about. They're probably making fun of us, though. It's
Oh,
definitely not.
100%. I know that. Yeah, my wife is probably making fun of it. She's like, yeah, he thinks that people are watching this right now, and nobody's watching.
Don't worry, we'll be in the thousands for the download on this one. Hopefully we get like I said, man, 20,000, because 20,000 is when people start reaching out to you.
Well, that's the thing.
Nobody cares when you're at 10,000 and under. They're like, whatever.
Yeah. So because I literally just made an Instagram the 1st of April. So this month I made one, like, and then went in with this, trying to do the streaming and everything. And so I've been looking it up and figuring out, okay, so I have to hit X amount of followers, X amount of viewers per stream to get to, to the certain tiers.
You need a publicist, man.
Right?
Get a publicist.
So that's the thing. I'm trying to get all this started now. And I mean, I've heard from people, it's going to take a while probably. Not everybody hits the jackpot and gets lucky. That's, that they run into like another popular streamer that, is like plugs you. They're like, oh, you know what? Or hosts you. If that doesn't happen, normally you got to do it yourself, and it'll take a while, which I'm prepared for. Again, it's just, it's a hobby right now, but if I hit a certain point where I got people watching me all the time and subscribing and donating stuff, then I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to go in full time.
So I promised Steve Maida, which is the owner of my the store that I work for. I said, even when I make it, man, I'm not gonna leave you. And he goes, you know what? I wouldn't mind if you left me. You just need to give me a ride in your private jet.
Right.
So he ran into this famous podcast. He's not just a famous podcaster. He does a bunch of other stuff. He's a businessman, business tycoon, and the guy, he owns his own private jet. That's why he thinks that. I'm like, not all podcasters, not even really big famous podcasters have jets. This dude is a millionaire because of his other ventures, not because of podcasting. But I thought it was funny that Steve told me that, and I love working for Steve, because I keep it real with him, and he's his Leslie Maida, one of the other Maidas, she listens to the podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
Shout out to Leslie. I told her I was going to have her on. We're going to talk about her business ventures. She used to run a dealership, man. It's pretty cool.
Wow. I've never heard of any of these people.
Yeah.
Other than, Maida.
Yeah. Everyone in Sacramento knows who Maida is. So you said you've been watching, kind of paying attention to MMA?
A little bit, not too much. Honestly, I've been
did you watch this last pay-per-view though?
I missed
Dustin
it.
Poirier and
I was actually going to, and completely, I don't know what happened. I think I was working. So
Max is the Max is the hometown boy, man.
No, I know, and that's what I was saying. I was actually planning to watch it and didn't end up, because I think I was stuck at work, and I was stuck at work late that day too. So it was like I was literally just working all day.
Dang it, Auto Nation. No, yeah, man, I was super bummed. I had that fight a tie. Did you watch it back at all, or did you see? I
saw some clips and stuff of it.
I thought it was. I had it as a tie, but my biasness said that Max should have won.
Yeah.
Well, it was really the first round. Like, he had to get his wits back.
Yeah.
And, anybody can get caught. I think he proved that he was the better fighter. This is my opinion. Obviously, he lost the fight. I get it. And he took it with class. And Poirier, I'm not trying to take anything away from Dustin Poirier. He's obviously a fantastic fighter. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone to decision. I'm not trying to take it away from him. But I think Max proved he's the better fighter, because he got rocked. And anybody can get caught, man.
Oh, yeah.
And he got rocked. And it took a round and a half for him to come back too, and then after that he put it on him. I felt like he put it on him the rest of the fight. I think he won the last 3 rounds, and what do I know? I'm a fan.
Right. We're all the couch refs,
Yeah. It's funny because the one, and when I had Mikey Diamonds on, we were talking about it, because he and I talk about the fights all the time. When I kind of am I'm his like commentator, because he doesn't know the sport inside and out, and I do, and I know it like really inside and out, especially when it comes to like the ground game, any of the jiu-jitsu portion of it. And so he makes fun of me. He makes fun of me all the time because because I do that. I ref the fights.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, you'd be a good ref though. I think I'd be a good ref.
I feel like that's definitely. Somebody that will put a lot of time in, and yeah, if you know what you're actually talking about, it does make sense that a lot of times when people feel like, oh, I could do that, but it's so funny because then everybody's always going to have that first thought of they're just like, oh, really? Could you really do it though? Because everybody does it with everything, like whether any sport, like baseball, football, it doesn't matter. Everybody can, they claim, oh, come on. He's like, I could have made that a better call than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely just with our backgrounds and everything. I mean, both you and even I, like we did, tons of different martial arts, and so it's something I really do feel like, I wouldn't doubt that you'd be able to do it, or even myself, certain things like I feel like, funny we're talking about martial arts is that's one of the things that I'm hoping eventually that. My own son, when he's finally born, that down the line that he'll want to do, because I actually really
Trey.
enjoy it.
Look at you making a little podcast drop for Trey. Are you naming him? I remember, I mean, we were in high school, or I was in high school. You said, hey, if I ever have a son, I'm gonna name him Kevin the Third, and we're gonna nickname him Trey.
Yeah, no, it's something I've thought about for forever. Like that's something that,
like, you knew that your son was gonna be named Trey.
Yeah, I knew if I had a son that he was gonna be named after.
And God blessed you with a son.
And he did.
I'm excited about that. That's so cool, man. I want him to do jujitsu. Put him in jujitsu right away. Let's do it. Hey man, I get Gustavo has me helping him with the teen classes and the younger classes. Maybe I'll teach your son some jujitsu one day.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I love jujitsu. Jujitsu has done a lot of stuff for our family in terms of like the way that the kids are. They learn a lot about respect, and which is kind of the point, like martial arts. It's like there's a reason why Gregorio Kano, the creator of judo, there's a reason why he made it illegal, or not illegal, but against his rules. Like he would strip you of your black belt if you were to prize fight.
Oh, okay.
Like you weren't allowed to prize fight as a judo black belt. And it's like, it's really cool that martial arts will teach us and our kids and inevitably the future generations about respect. I think it's important. I think martial arts is super important, not just jiu-jitsu either. It doesn't matter what it is. You did like Kachi Kempo for a little while too. You did karate.
Yeah, the very first thing I did was Shotokan karate. So that was the first thing I ever learned, and it really it teaches you, the kids, just respect, and I mean, almost like with religion itself too. It teaches them right from wrong. It's like I'm learning this thing, but they're teaching you not, you're only going to use it in defense, really, and when taught the right way, that's usually I feel like we had very good upbringings, and that's that part of that definitely helped, is the fact that we were given those opportunities to do things like that, like karate, and or just martial arts in general.
What's funny is we didn't really shy away from fights, but I'll say this, now that I'm doing jiu-jitsu, it's a little bit different, man. I've had a couple of instances where it was like, this could have gone down way differently if I wasn't the person I am now. You know what jiu-jitsu's done for me? No joke. I've gotten to the point now where I'm fairly certain, unless the person who's standing in front of me has cauliflower ear, that I can defend myself against them. And so I'm like, it doesn't matter what they would say to me, I would walk away.
Yeah.
I don't even want to, it's like, I don't even need to prove it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I've gotten to that point, and I think a lot of it is jujitsu, man. I don't know, because I've done other martial arts. I did judo for a long time, and it was never like that with judo. With judo, I was like, if you keep pushing me, I'm going to throw you to the ground really freaking hard. And with jujitsu, it's like, dude, yeah, you're right. I'm really stupid. Yeah, you're right. I don't know how to drive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my skin is too brown. You're right. I wish it wasn't, man. I wish it could be paler. No, I'm just kidding. That has done that for me, though. But it's funny. I brought a gamer on, and all I can talk about is jiu-jitsu. Oh, man, I did an entire hour and 40 minutes on jiu-jitsu. I just can't stop doing it. I love it so much. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like how you were talking about, though, it's the same thing with me. I've had so many people. It's funny because I always tell everyone, if you met me in high school, to now, completely different. So
I'd say that.
So if you that's why a lot of people that I talk to now, or we'd go out drinking and stuff, and even they're I mean, acquaintances, I guess. It wouldn't be really friends, but they'll kind of run their mouth and they're like, oh, and I'm like, it's like that point where you're just like, I'm like, okay, yeah, you can stop. And, it's like, yeah, just stop. And then, they've almost tried to call me out before. And these were actually, so this is, what happened in one of my previous jobs when I was working at the casino. And it, unfortunately, it hit a point where, because I was actually trying to help a friend who was blackout drunk, basically, he's like passed out on the bar, and one of the guys is trying to give him more drinks, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, you clearly don't have his best, the best intentions if you're trying to give him more drinks and the guy's sleeping.
Yeah.
So I told him, like, dude, get out of here, and he starts, I mean, he was one of them. He's like trying to run his mouth, and I'm like, dude, I will lay you out. And it was crazy because it was like the moment where everybody that I used to work with, because they just thought I was, because at the casino I have to wear, it's like shirt and tie always, and so they assumed I was just
even keeled too. You're not.
Yeah,
You're not like
and that's the thing. I never ever, but it hit it. Yeah, and I'm like got in his face, and it's. And everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And they started like trying to pull us apart because they're like, I think he's serious." And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, and it was only because I'm like, dude, I'm trying to protect a friend right now. I'm like, dude, are you trying to kill him? Like, really? It's like, are you trying to kill him?
Yeah. No, and that's what Ashley and I have a pretty good rule with stuff like that. That's why we just don't put ourselves in those situations anymore. Like we don't drink, so it's like it's really hard for us because if we have friends who don't, luckily for us, most of our friends work at the church or go to church, so majority of them don't drink, and I have no judgment towards people who drink. At the end of the day, there are people who have different vices. I get it. I understand. I'm not the person who's going to judge them, but we don't go out with people who are like, hey, we're going to go grab a couple of drinks. Did you guys want to come? Oh, we don't drink. Oh, yeah, just come and hang out. Nah.
Yeah. No, I get
Not
that.
for us. Not for us. Because if we did get pushed to shove into that situation, I'm going to protect my family. And so we just stay away from it now.
Yeah.
We used to be a little bit different. I'm also more of a pansy than I used to be. Like way back in the day, I wasn't gun shy, man. I'm like locked and loaded. Go ahead and give me a reason. And now I'm like, any reason not to, because getting punched hurts.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like you said, I mean, we've been in a lot of fights.
Yeah,
and it's really just growing up too is part of it, because when you're younger, you're still.
We didn't really grow up in the nicest of areas either.
Absolutely not.
And not any disrespect to our mother. I mean, she gave us a fantastic upbringing, but like where we lived, and we were pretty close to the. I would say we were on the right side of the tracks, but we were very close to the wrong side of the tracks.
Like literally.
Yeah.
the train tracks separated us from Highlands.
From what was really, really bad. And that was us getting out. I mean, we actually moved there to get out of the hood. We moved to the hood to more hood.
We moved from, it was like terrible hood to,
to like not as bad.
Not as bad. But very close to the actual hood still.
Yeah. No, and you know what? And I say this to people too. And I'm like, I get I do feel like I'm looked down upon by certain people in our family, and I don't want this to sound disrespectful to anyone, but I'm like, the fact that I get looked down on because I don't want my kids to have to go through the same things that we went through. And here's the thing, man, we were around really bad stuff growing up. Yeah. I think about the stuff that we were around growing up. Like we were around drugs, we were around alcohol, and not because of our parents, but because of people outside people, like people who lived on our block. Our parents, my mom would never hurt a fly. She doesn't do drugs, smokes a pack of cigarettes a day. And we've tried hiding her cigarettes, but there's no, it's not like she's not into anything. She's not doing any illegal stuff. She did the best that she could, and at the end of the day, she was a fantastic mother. It wasn't her, it was our surroundings. And I look at, man, how bad could it have been for us? How bad could it have really been for us, considering, how many, how much gun violence was around where we lived and people getting robbed. And I'm like, the fact that I wanted to get out of there is not a slight against where we grew up. I'm very happy and blessed that we had the upbringing we brought up, because it did give us a hardened shell. Like for me, I'm thinking, how did it make me into the person that I am now? It turned, those lumps and bruises and the fact that we had to fight our way out of the hood is made us who we are. And I think we're great. I think we came out great people. The fact that our parents have 5 kids, and of the 5 of us, none of us have been to jail, and not that there's anything wrong with that either. I get it. People make mistakes, but we came out fairly, relatively unscathed. And with the exception of a couple of scraps that we had to get into in high school and even a little bit after that, outside of that, and maybe us making some unwise choices along the way, not maybe, we definitely made some unwise choices along the way. I think that not only are we a testament of it, you can make it outside of there. We're not only a testament to that, but also a testament to, like, we're trying to follow our dreams. Like, I love this podcast. This is my dream. If I don't get paid $1 for this, it's not working for me. I love doing this. Yeah. If you become this world famous gamer, it's not going to distract you away from the fact that you love to play, that you love video games, and that's what I want to find. I want to find that true, what do they call it, serenity. I want to find that true serenity of, like, this is what your passion is. I love doing what I do, actually. Selling is kind of my thing. I love talking, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a podcast. I love sharing my story, which is also the reason why I'm so involved in ministries at the church. And I used to be really embarrassed by my testimony because of the fact that growing up, because of the upbringing that we had, I was embarrassed, and I told a lot of lies about our upbringing. Yeah. And oh no, everything was like, I put this cookie coat, like whatever it was, and I told these stupid piddly lies for no reason. And then I started growing up and realizing, man, that's the reason why I am who I am. That's what made me me, and yours is what made you you. And we grew up in the same house, so yeah. I know what values you grew up with, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, kind of to like what you were talking about, to maybe elaborate a little more just on my side. What part of it I felt like it really came down to intelligence as well, because I understood I didn't want to do a lot of the things that we were, you basically had to do, like to survive in that area. I befriended the right people, which wouldn't necessarily do the right things, but they assured basically doing that, certain, types of people would leave me alone, and that's really what it was, and I understood that. So
they were all good guys,
and yeah, no, I mean, they like I said, yeah, most of all those guys, I mean, I wouldn't mind. Actually, I should probably try to catch up with them. But the problem is I don't have social media, so I haven't talked to most of them. But
we need to get in touch with Johnny, man. You know what's funny is I'll never forget this story. There's a fight that's happening in high school, and it's Kevin and some guy who was talking. I think he was talking about me, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
he was talking crap about me. And I'll never forget, because the dude had like blonde tips. And you know what? In retrospect, I probably couldn't have taken the guy, but Kevin obviously could. And so, I was younger. I think I was a freshman at the time, yeah. And he was a senior, and he's trying to mess with me. I'm like, come on, dude, for real? I don't remember the scenario. Like, I don't think he and I ever had a cross paths. I think he was just talking crap about me. And Kevin calls him out, and I'll never forget. So Kevin has him in headlock, and he's just pounding away at this dude, and he's clocking the dude, and the guy is not really doing anything. He's squirming to try and get out. But the thing that I'll never forget is that Johnny Magalayan is he's a close family friend of ours. I still consider him a close family friend, even though I haven't personally talked to him in a long time. He comes running down the hall, and he's like, your brother's fighting. I don't even remember the guy's name. And we get back over there, and everybody's ready to jump in, and Johnny's behind everybody. I'm like, Johnny, you're the biggest of all of us. And here's the other thing is he boxed. He boxed growing up. Yeah. And he was a heck of a boxer. So it's not like he couldn't throw hands. He just didn't want to. he was in the background like, nah, man, we got enough friends who got this. We ain't tripping about this. That's how I felt. That's how I felt about it, because I'm getting ready. I'm over there. I'm like, all right, if I got to jump in, I got to jump in. I turn, and Johnny's not next to me anymore. Johnny's all the way in the back. I'm like, dude, how are you gonna jump over that group of 8 people to get into this fight?
I feel like he was like trying to draw a crowd instead.
He's like,
I
think he just wanted everyone to see.
Bro, check it out. He's like, yeah, Kevin's fighting somebody, and like that's really what, like, that was Johnny. Like, He's a goofball,
T.
and like, yeah, he was like, I think he was so pumped that he was like, dude, because I mean, you know, not really trying to brag, but I'm basically pounding the guy, and so I think he just wants to see. Yeah, he's trying to show everybody. He's like,
Yeah, but his friends were threatening to jump in,
And
the
yeah,
guy's friends were threatening to jump
exactly,
in.
yeah.
That's why we were all there waiting.
Yeah.
And I didn't even. I mean, I would have gotten beat up by most of those guys, probably. I don't know.
I mean, they're all
maybe or maybe not. But regardless, I don't know. I'm still gonna throw. If somebody hits my brother, I'm coming in. I'm like, let's go.
And the the funniest thing
and
is
the biggest guy with probably the most fight background was like,
yeah,
you guys got this.
And
I
yeah,
think he was too pansy to actually street fight. Like he
I
would
think
get into
so.
I think he would get into a ring and throw
Yeah.
with anyone and probably beat most people because he was big and fast too. He was a fast dude.
yeah,
But I think he was too scared to street fight, which is good. Man,
Yeah.
you see these videos of guys getting cracked and they hit their head.
Yeah.
Their heads are bouncing off the concrete. You can kill somebody.
oh yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, that's one of the things that it's funny. That's something I really think about now. I'm like, well, if I do lay this guy out, it's like,
Am I
you know,
gonna-
you
yeah.
might end up with unnecessary. Yeah, it's like you might end up with other charges other than just the initial battery. You know,
with brain damage. Well, you know, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for sharing this, but I'm going to share it anyway. I don't even care. So our Carly is a social justice warrior. She got in a little bit of trouble at school because she choked a girl out. Carly is one of those people, like when she figures it out, she's so intelligent. When she figures it out, she'll realize like, okay, my dad puts me in jiu-jitsu. He puts me in boxing lessons. He's putting me in these lessons so that I never have to use it outside of a competition. That's the point. I want her to understand that the reason why I teach her these things is because one, I love the sport and she does too. She saw the video of Holly Holmes knocking out Ronda Rousey and she fell in love with the sport. That's what happened. That's all it took was a girl who didn't look like a dude.
yeah,
Right? It took a girl who didn't look like a dude to step into a ring who's like a pretty girl to throw up question mark kick at Ronda Rousey's face for Carly to go, oh, okay, girls can also fight too? Yeah, I want to do that. And Carly's an assassin, dude. She's an assassin. She's got a sick armbar. She has no stand-up game though right now. She has none. Like literally Oleg is like, oh, I'll train her too. So Oleg calls me he calls me, texts me, and in person he's like, whenever you want to do, but come train. You come train with me. And he's this, I mean, the dude's got lunchbox hands and he's throwing these jabs and hooks in my office, and I'm like, oh man, this dude is a giant. He's a monster, man. He's a monster of an individual. Dude is like 6'4". I'm gonna look this up. So in 2013 is when he won the world title. Moskov, the Big O. 2013 is when he had his last fight. So he beats Hasim Rahman. I'm sorry, that was in 2006 when he won the title. But his last fight was in 2013. And in 2013, I mean, when you think about this, Oleg is 50 now, which means that at 43 years of age, that dude had his last fight. That's crazy.
dude. Anytime you're over 40, you're basically ancient. Like as far as fight, you know,
For
they're
fighting,
like,
yeah, not
for fighting, yeah,
not
they're
for the
just like,
world, but
oh,
for
yeah,
the-
no, for
yeah.
fighting, because they're like that's. I mean, most of the guys starting, you know, they're starting like teens.
Yeah.
Like they're already fighting, and then, you know, so it's like you really think about it, that's over 20 years of fighting.
And he did it at a big level. The thing that about him is he had this dynamite of a right hand that if it touched somebody on the chin, their chin exploded. And that's what happened, dude. I'm telling you. He was known for that too. He was known for that right hand, and when he broke his hand, it went all out the window.
Yeah.
He knew it was hard. It was hard for him. It got harder for him. That's why like his last two fights were unanimous decision victories, because not that he couldn't. The dude, he could knock somebody out, but it was harder for him, man, and that's why he retired. He probably would have never retired if it wasn't for the case. I want to ask him, because he looks like he's been working out. I want to ask him if he's getting ready to get back in it. Just 50-year-old Oleg Moskov in there. He's just giant individual, and just He told me a story about Vladimir Klitschko. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell it, so I'm gonna have wait for him.
Wait for him. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for him and let him tell the story.
Let him tell the story correctly.
Vladimir Well, I know the story.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if I'm allowed to say it because they've never fought on the books. Like, it was never a sanctioned fight, but they had a fight. I'm gonna let him tell that story. I don't want to tell it for him. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for that one. So, love you, Oleg. You're my favorite boxer ever. That's not true, but you're up there. He knows too. He knows he knows I'm a huge boxing fan. I don't know, man. Iron Mike Tyson. Lennox Lewis too is another one. Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis, and Hasim Rahman is the guy who got knocked out by Big O for him to win it. He gave me his robe that he wore when he won that title, and Caden sleeps with it still. He does right now.
Wow.
I think he's gonna bring me some stuff, some swag. He's also my first sponsor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He doesn't want me to say like what he's doing and stuff,
Okay.
but he's my first sponsor.
Okay.
Ashley knows. She loves it.
So
This doesn't happen without Oleg. Thank you, Oleg. My man. The best. The big O.
side note, hopefully the stream is doing okay because I think your internet is Walmart.
It is
just
Walmart,
saying.
bro. Here's the thing, okay? I have this really good router, and then the router's only going to be as good as what we get. But
Well,
it's
yeah.
because our HOA. So here's the thing. That's why when our internet was down earlier today. So here's the issue with my internet.
Okay.
It's free with my HOA.
Okay. He's like, so
that's my issue.
I'm not paying for it.
I think we could pay for faster speeds, and I probably should. I think it's just a small upgrade.
Yeah.
Because we get the internet for free. Like, our internet's free, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. No,
We,
I mean,
we also have a
definitely.
bunch of stuff. I guess it's not free. We pay at our HOAs.
So you're paying, not paying for it. Okay.
Yeah. I do need better. I love.
Because I think, well,
I
no,
love your internet is Walmart.
mostly because I've looked at it. So I'm like, I think the actual internet has cut out a few times, so it's like restarted the stream for me. So
So you have like 6 streams on there.
I mean, I don't know. I'll look it up later, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna have more than one.
I need to figure out how to get some light in here.
Oh my gosh, yes, it is going in and out.
So we have like 10 streams. How many?
It was good for about 40 minutes, and then it started cutting out every like 5 minutes or a few minutes.
Is it back up?
I mean, it's still up. We're
It just
still
keeps
up.
cutting in and out.
But as far as for your podcast, it's gonna be fine. But you know,
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'm gonna edit anything. I was like, you know what? I might just publish the episode. No, just all pure. Since it was on stream,
Yeah.
live. I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe I'll just do it this way. I gotta do my intro and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't think I'm gonna edit anything down. If it peaks, it peaks, y'all. If it hurts your ears while you're driving, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to do this thing pure like the stream did it.
like the stream, we got about 7. We got 7 different episodes.
I know.
7 in 1.
7 in 1, y'all. That's how good we were. We did 7 episodes.
Yes.
Man, what do you have on the what is the game that you want to make it in? Like, what's the game? What's the one?
So right now,
I know you're playing Apex, but
yeah. And
I'm gonna see if I
honestly,
can get some light on while you talk.
I was actually thinking that was going to be the game that I really was going to try to get into. But currently they just came out with an update that
snap,
I
son.
really, oh, there you go.
I didn't do anything differently than I did before.
But,
All I did was click the button.
Oh.
I did nothing different.
oh, hey, we actually have light now.
Come on.
But yeah, so they came out with an update just yesterday actually for Apex, and I am not very happy with it.
Not a fan, huh?
Not a fan with a lot of the changes they did. So I really, last night I was talking to Michael while we were playing, and I'm like, I might have to take a break from this for a little while because it was like one of those where it like the changes they made, it affected the guns I used and the it's like even the characters, certain characters got things changed, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just not a fan of it. And so I might take a break from it for a while. But so that's what I'm thinking. What am I going to do now? I know they're coming out with. I've never really been that into Mortal Kombat, but I was actually
The new one just came out, right? Isn't the Sub-Zero a chick now?
I think. Is it out yet? I don't know. I
Yeah.
gotta look at. I haven't really followed it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, with the fighting game community, like you knew for a while, like for like 3 or 4 years, I was. I went in, and that's why like I was going to Vegas and going to these tournaments.
Yeah, and you were kicking
and
butt.
I was on top of it. Like I knew anything and everything that was going on, but real life hit, and I've just kind of been. I kind of fell off, and just recently I really started trying to get back into playing all these games. So I'm trying to think of what I really want to do right now. The game that I absolutely want to go in, it's probably gonna be a fighting game again. So I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet though.
Did they make Sub-Zero a chick? Did I see that correctly?
I don't know. Honestly, I
don't have
haven't.
Pablo. I have to be my own Pablo, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look it up.
I mean, you could probably look it up because
Let's check it out.
yeah, because I saw a few
Don't do me wrong, Apple.
clips and
Is the new
the game. I mean, being honest, it looks about the same as 10. But it happens with a lot of games that I play anyway. Funny, actually, that so Gabby, my wife, she pointed out, she's like, because I told her, I'm like, the game kind of looks like 10, and she goes, well, you talk about that, the game looks kind of similar, but you buy a lot of the Madden titles, and I'm like, dude, that's true, but at the same time, it's like
I stopped playing Madden, bro.
it's
I think after he stopped commentating, it was like pointless.
yeah.
Don't even call it Madden anymore. Call it NFL 2000, whatever.
I mean, honestly, I would really like the NFL to finally let go, or they've basically given the rights to EA.
EA kind of just
they need
run the
to-
show.
Once that happens, once they release the rights, I think will hopefully 2K or something could come back, and I mean competition is good for everyone, because it forces you to be better. Even talking about like with cars. Actually, I was selling at Subaru, and I'm like, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm not really. I mean, I was never a fan of the WRX anyway, because I love the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8, my favorite car of all time.
That's funny. That was your dream car. How come you never got it, man?
Oh, it's still. I'll probably still get it.
You bought. You know what's funny about that is that was your dream car, right? You can buy one right now for about half of what your Jeep costs.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've looked it up. Well, obviously,
funny.
It's used, but it's still. I mean,
could
I've
do
looked
it.
it up.
You have the means. You have you're grown up with a really good career and good income, and
Depending,
you can do that now.
yeah, depending how much what I really want to go with. They go anywhere. I can get it from, I think it was like 14 to 22,000 was what I was seeing roughly. Like it's just depending on the mileage and everything, obviously, but. It's definitely still in there. I'm planning to get it because that car will crush a WRX all day, every day.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you guys aren't going to be selling. You're not selling those anymore.
Oh, yeah, we'll keep that off the air.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I got
Some
a call.
things
I
are
got a call from
changing.
someone, so I don't know.
Oh really?
He wants to talk to me tomorrow. We'll leave it at that. Ryan.
Who's that Subaru? Oh Ryan. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. There.
Ryan's a cool dude.
Oh yeah. No, honestly, he reached out to me, so I'm like.
No, I liked working for AutoNation. I
I
spent like 10 years
Dude,
with them.
I loved working for Ryan. He's actually one of the of all of the GMs I had worked for. I mean, obviously we've worked for different GMs probably, but I mean, the short amount of time. Yeah, the few I've only been with a few of them, and I actually really like working for Ryan.
So Ryan was my used car. He was our used car buyer when I got into the business. That's what he did.
Yeah, I know.
He was just a guy who stickered cars in my eyes. I mean, I know
Yeah.
now. I'm on the desk now, so now I know what he actually did.
Yeah.
But back then, I was on the line. I'm like, this dude stickers cars all day. Wait, hold on. You guys give him a corporate gig now? And then he went to corporate, and I was like, oh. And then I started moving up in the business. I'm like, oh, he does way
Yeah.
more than
Like,
sticker cars. I'm
oh.
like, this lot porter got this amazing opportunity. Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Ryan. You're not a lot porter. I never thought you were a lot porter. No, but who's been the GM at Mazda? I didn't even know you guys. Did you guys have a GM, or are you guys working off just had a desk?
No. So the GM currently is Tom Hood.
Oh, really? Whatever. Tom, are you listening? Tom, if this
Hey, he only lives next door to me, but
does he really?
Yep.
So you know that he used to be that they had a nickname for him. His nickname was Houdini. Houdini.
Ooh, Houdini.
Because he would randomly disappear from work.
I laugh because I've heard this.
I don't even care because you know what?
Oh.
I never worked for him. I do know people who worked for him, but we were within the same company, and I was on the desk at a store, and I'm not trashing him. You're the GM, bro. You made it. I mean, at the end of the day, you can do what you want to do. But when your nickname is Houdini because you disappear, it's pretty funny, man. I don't know. I don't know,
Man.
At my work, I never leave the desk. And you know what? I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it?
Yeah. No, I love, it's different being on the desk at a private owned store.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to stay at the desk because of the amount of things that happen at the desk. And you have closers to do what we used to have to do at AutoNation. So I don't have to do as much of that.
Yeah.
I don't have to do as much ASM work. So
yeah. The thing I feel like I'll really, well, obviously none of the listeners will know that they're actually going to be shutting that store down. But the one thing I will miss is that absolutely every single salesperson, like I just really felt loved because they're always like, "Hey, are you running my deal? Are you running my deal?" Because that's all they're like. If the other person who will remain nameless.
Is it Wes?
It'll remain nameless. They did not care for. Absolutely not care for.
Give me, look at me, don't look at the camera, and just, if it was Wes, wink with this eye. Let me tell you a story about Wes, okay? Wes is a really good guy. And I would consider Wes, I would consider him slightly more than an acquaintance, not quite a friend. So really nice guy though. But let me tell you the story about him, right? So I got into finance, I don't know, like 4 months before him, right? He and I were both on the top of the totem pole. It was one of us was going to be next. He was a little mad that I got it. But when he finally got in, right? So it's like, I don't know, a month into him running paper. He has this customer, and he wants to show this customer how cute his new puppy is. I don't know if he's ever told you this story or not.
No.
So he wanted to show, he got a new puppy, right? So he wants to show this customer, and he gives her the phone, and he's like, "Go ahead, scroll through some of the pictures." She grabs the phone, and the puppy. The picture was him. He took it while he was sitting on the toilet and his pants are down. Now, I want to preface this. You could only see his legs and the puppy because the puppy jumped into the pants. If you know Wes is not the guy who is trying to, he's not, there's no ill intention here. He's not trying to show this lady anything sexual. He's trying to show this lady that the puppy jumped into his pants. In his mind, that's okay. It's not okay to show a customer that. So the customer grabs it and he goes, "Go ahead and scroll through it." And in her mind, that was him hinting that she should scroll through because it gets dirty. But because she complained, and that's what she said. She said, "I felt like he was trying to show him." And Wes goes, "Look, you can see there's nothing dirty. It's just pictures of the puppy." He's saying this to our GM, not to the customer.
Yeah.
He didn't have to defend himself in front of the customer. But if you know Wes, you know he wasn't trying to show this lady anything inappropriate. He wanted to show her the puppy. He almost got fired like 2 months into 2 months into running paper because he wanted to show this lady a picture of a puppy and it was in his pants. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You just can't do that.
That is 100% him. Just because of the fact that having worked with him for what now? probably almost, yeah, it's like 2 years now. I
That's
think I've worked
crazy to
with
think
him.
about.
The guy unintentionally makes terrible decisions. Like, and he just unintentionally does like stupid things at work.
Yeah, he's not doing that on purpose.
Like I think just in his head, he just has a completely different train of thought. I think
he just
from
thinks
everyone
differently
else.
from other people.
I don't know what. Maybe early in the car business, maybe he participated in some of the extracurriculars and it fried some cells.
I don't
but
think it's that, man. I think
I don't
he's
know.
just a
He's-
different dude,
he's
man.
just-
I don't think it's that. I think he
'cause,
just thinks differently
like,
than other
yeah,
people.
unintentionally.
And I don't think he's a good guy. I like him. I like the guy. He's a good dude. But he would always try to, because he's religious as well, and he would always try to tell me stuff that his church was doing, and he'd always invite me to church. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to Newcastle, bro. I love me some Jesus, but I'm not. There's a church right around the corner from my house, bro. I'm not going to.
He's always
I'm not
yeah,
going
he
to-
always tries to invite everybody to everything. He's like, "Oh, bro, you got to come by.
Yeah, we
we
have
ride
this
dirt
Easter-
bikes, and
yeah.
we're gonna do this." And I'm like, "I'm good."
By the way, do you want to go hunting this year?
Oh, I'm down. Yeah, definitely.
We got to make sure that after baby Trey is born, that so you're gonna have to apply for your hunting license.
Yeah.
I'll walk you through all that stuff. We'll get it all done. Kevin's never been. You've never been hunting, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna go bow.
No
Bow
white.
hunting.
No.
Yeah, I told you, man. See, I
like-
grew up in the hood, but now
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone's like, "Oh, you live in Lincoln?" And okay, it's not so. I'm about as colorful as it is out here. No, we're gonna go bow hunting though. So we yeah, deer. You don't have to get a strong bow. You can get like a little $200 like Walmart bow.
Yeah.
And I got this Hoyt Helix build that I'm building. I know you don't know much about it, so I'll keep it super short. But it's supposed to be able to shoot at 310 feet per second, 70 pounds of draw strength, and that's
Yeah.
fast. So I'll be able to take down anything.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna go through the deer.
It's
go
gonna
through
go
the deer.
It's like clean through.
Yeah. Well, I get made fun of because of my 100-yard comment in one of my earlier podcasts. I didn't actually say that I can shoot 100 yards. I can't shoot 100 yards that accurately, but I get made fun of for that now. So now my goal is to be able to hit vital organs. So I'm gonna get a pitch that's 100 yards, and I'm gonna practice 100 yards until I have it down and that I can hit vital organs at 100 yards. Then I'm gonna go hunting. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna find something. I don't want to go 100 yards because I don't want to hurt anything. I don't want to hurt something without killing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a 70-yarder. Just pow.
Okay.
70-yarder. That's my goal. I want to hit one bull elk 70 yards. Let's go.
I'm just gonna try to hit anything. It's all because I've never done it. So
Yeah. No, it's fun, man. It's a
Yeah.
good time. So we'll do it. I think I have a couple of guys who want to go. I want to draw a Zone X tag, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get it because I haven't applied. I haven't applied yet, and it's there's people who have applied already who are gonna have. I'm not gonna have great odds to get a Zone X tag. So D though, let's go. I'm in. I want to get a bear tag.
okay.
I wanna
I think
get a
I'm
bear
gonna.
tag.
It's yeah. I think I'll start small.
You should have gone turkey. The turkey hunting season's right now, man. I had a buddy of mine who tried to shoot a turkey. This just happened. His name's Clay. Shout out to you, Clay. So when you're listening, I'm going to let you know an hour and 17 minutes in, I talk about you. So Clay, I didn't know he hunted. And we were talking, I was just talking about bow hunting. And he goes, yeah, man, my dad and I are going to go turkey hunting. He went and he missed. He missed.
He missed.
He said he was 40 yards out. I'm like, why would you do that? I guess what was happening was he was on like army crawling to try and get close to it.
Okay.
Because on a turkey, 25, 30 yards, you don't want to shoot it further than that. He's like 40, 45 yards out. And he said, man, it was right behind the neck. It was so close. So I don't know, man. That's my next thing. That's my next adventure. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're doing it though, man. I'm glad you're like trying to pursue the game thing because as long as I've known, you've been the best gamer that I've known, and I mean, I played on some pretty good teams. I played on some good teams that were ranked pretty high at one point, but I was never a great gamer. I look back at it, I'm like, I was fooling myself. I was probably the worst guy on our team. Like, I probably was getting carried by other people, even though I had some pretty good games. But
Yeah, I mean, it's all, yeah. Like, well, like we were talking about earlier that it's, like, I feel like I was never really good at first-person shooters, and I've gone in full, like, I think part of it is just I never really had the drive to want to learn how to play a first-person shooter, because it's a completely different thing. Because I played MOBAs, I played fighting games. I even tried different. As crazy as it is, I've tried some. There's like puzzle style games and stuff too. But yeah, first-person shooters I just could never get into, and until recently I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to get into it now. And I'm actually, at least with certain games, I'm having really a lot of fun with it. Because other than Apex, I was playing a little bit of Blackout from Black Ops 4. So,
you know what we should do? We should pull out an N64 and do like a Nintendo 64 game tournament. Like,
dude,
like NFL Blitz. You remember NFL Blitz?
Oh, Blitz!
Dude?
I still to this day,
I love that.
I loved that game. Yeah, we don't even need a. I mean, well, to be pure, yes, we should get the N64. But at least like we could literally just pull up. We could just literally pull up the emulators. But I feel like using the controller is so much. It's so much more fun doing that with having the old school N64.
You know what I want to do? I want to do an old school N64, and you got to get the clear ones, because you remember when the clear ones came out? It was so cool, like the clear colored ones. I want to get a green one, a purple one, the clear white one, and then the original. Get 4 of them, right? And set up 4 different games. Have a tournament where it's like you get points, like Olympic style tournament. I don't know why I want to do this. Oh, listen to me, Michael.
Oh,
Michael,
we could do it at the couch.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, we could. I mean,
Justin,
well, it's just,
I got a good in with Justin.
Yeah, I got a good in with
more so than Michael did. No, I'm just kidding. No, so you know Justin used to be my boss.
Yeah.
So, but he owned the couch even when he was the GSM at Dodge. But man, I love that guy. I like genuinely love that guy. He was like a father figure to me in the business. Actually, I grew more working under him than I did probably in 10 years of the business. Just working under him for the 2 years that I worked with him. But yeah, man, that would be cool. Set up 4 of them. We'll do Olympic style points like GoldenEye. You know what we should do? We should make GoldenEye. GoldenEye will be the championship match, and you can't use Odd Job.
And you can't. Okay.
Because he was super cheap.
Yeah.
He was super cheap, even though I used him all the time. And in the main level, I don't remember what it was, but you can go into the bathroom stall and go up into the vent. There's a little, like that little glitch. You can get into the vent, and you're Odd Job, and you're just looking down on people and just pop.
Oh yeah. Pop, pop. No, there was. I mean, I don't remember them now, but I do remember there were so many glitches in that game. But it was so much fun.
I think that should be it.
I mean, if we actually if we decide to really do this, I would be down to we could set up a bunch of things, and it could be to where there'd be multiple things we could do. So it could be almost like a decathlon where you played all these different games, so you can still win individual events and like individual games. And then at the end though, we'll have like the GoldenEye or something or whatever. There's one game specifically that, it'll have maybe like that'll be the championship game or something.
So let's hash it out. So I think we should do Star Fox.
Oh, Star Fox.
We should do.
Actually, you know what would probably be the best final game? Because GoldenEye is really fun, but not everybody's into first-person shooters. Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like, because that is, it would be the most fair.
That's the coup de grace.
As far as all the other games, I think personally, it would be, and it's funny because I was never really into Smash Brothers, so that's a game that probably Michael would be able to beat me at because I literally never really played it.
Man, do you remember my roommate Gary?
Yeah, I remember Gary.
Yeah. So he's the one who got me super into Smash Brothers. Let me tell you something about Gary and Super Smash Brothers though. I've seen because there's like a weird pro level of 64 Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
He's better than those guys. And I've watched it firsthand. I've seen what pro gamers play like.
Yeah.
I've been around you. I've been around like other pro gamers.
Yeah.
He is the best Smash Brothers player I've ever. And if I could find Gary somehow,
So
he got
if I
into
could find him.
he got into a little bit of trouble with
Oh, okay.
the law
Yeah.
way back in the day. This was like Ikaike is a like freshman year in college kind of thing, and just getting into adulthood. And he was a good dude. He just got into trouble.
Yeah.
I don't remember the entire story. That's a lie. I do. I just don't want to say it on air because I do have a lot. I have this weird growing following right now, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to blast somebody that I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Not my story to tell. But what was I going to look up? I was going to look something up.
But yeah, no, with Smash Brothers, it's
That's got to be the championship game. You're
yeah,
right. I agree.
that'll be.
I agree.
It's funny because that game has this weird, like the high level, the way they play. It's they play at the ledge. It's like it's learning to play the ledge. It has a huge factor, and like
That's how the
just
pros do it.
and yeah, just seeing these guys. I mean, I just never really understood it. Like they jump off, like they'll sometimes the plant. Yeah, like they will bait to jump off. They jump off the ledge and then jump back over, like baiting the other guy over. So it's just there's a whole different meta to that game that I
The meta is crazy.
never really
bro.
got into. But if we're doing this, it might be the first time that I get really into Smash Brothers. So, but I'd be down to try to set something like that up.
With Smash Brothers, he was so Gary was so good. Not to jump back on the Gary train here, but he was so good, no joke, that he would pick any character and he knew the meta for any of those characters.
Yeah.
So he did. What's today's date? The 17th. Today's the 17th. Boom.
It is.
Sorry, I got work. Work just texted me. How funny is that? Work just texted me, and I'm like, okay, awesome. I gotta work for 2 seconds, guys. Sorry. 1, 2.
Well, anyways, but yeah. So let's see. Other than, I mean, would it be just N64 though?
I think we should do it just N64.
So it would be, and then who would it be? Would it be offered to? Like, would it be something we would just social blast to like the area, or just friends? What are we doing? Like,
yeah, we should do just friends.
like friends and family kind of thing. So yeah, I mean,
You know what would be cool is if we could get Warren G. Well, when
get him to come up, dude. I haven't
Just for a
talked to
tournament.
him in
I haven't
forever.
I haven't talked to him either.
Oh my gosh,
How about
dude.
White Mike?
You know, well, is he even in California now? I don't know. He's been all over the place.
You know what's funny is I saw him his Facebook. He has a show your roll gi on,
What?
which is a jiu-jitsu gi.
Yeah.
And like a famous. So I'm like, wait a minute. Does he do jiu-jitsu now? And I don't think he does. I think he just bought the show your roll gi because it's the most expensive one. I'm calling you out, Michael. Come roll with me, dog. He comes out. He's got cauliflower and he just kills
Right?
me. He could.
He walks up and
I'm
you just see you're like, oh my god, he's got
I'm gonna die.
cauliflowers.
That's dope, man.
It's like, hold on.
I don't have it because I wear
Yeah.
headgear, or
Yeah.
I'm kind of a pansy. you use whatever word you want to use for it. I am.
Yeah.
I am that guy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get hurt.
No, dude,
Crazy.
yeah, it's funny because so when I was going to college in Long Beach, like I saw Warren and even Michael went down there for a little while
He
too.
lived
but-
down there, didn't
yeah,
he?
he lived down there for a little bit, but like so yeah, hanging out with both of them. Honestly, that you brought them up, and I'm like, dang, I haven't talked to both of them in a while. I just remember.
Isn't Nicole like in New York or something like that?
Yeah, she's in New York. I heard she's also having a kid. I think.
What? I didn't even know she was married.
I think so. Yeah, no, she's married. Pretty sure.
I don't know.
Engaged or married? See,
Something.
This, like I said, I don't have social media, so everything I hear is like secondhand from somebody telling me. But yeah, no, I remember some of my favorite memories though. Speaking of those guys, is when we were back in when I came back up to Sacramento and we would set up the Dota games, like the LAN party in the backyard. and we'd
I was never good at Dota
we
though.
don't-
I just
yeah.
I just played Crystal Median
Yeah.
because that was the only character I knew how to play.
Well, I mean, but that was it's like I felt like we were playing at a, like at least we had a couple of, like myself, I felt like, and Warren. We pretty much were trying to carry the team most of the time. It was like I felt like it was me.
Who was
him.
better, you or Warren?
I think honestly, I felt like I was a little bit better at the game, just because I think I put a little more time into it. If he put as much time that I did, I think he would have been about the same. Because, I mean, it was
I wasn't trying to call anybody out.
it was it was a MOBA. I mean, I never really played those games, but that Dota specifically, I actually don't. I tried to get back into it recently. Tried to see if Justin wanted to get on.
He plays a lot.
Well, he did. I don't think he plays as
He
much
still
anymore.
plays a lot. He was telling me the other day that
Oh, was
he was like, yeah, I got to jump on Dota. I'm like, you got to jump on Dota?
Wait. Oh, really?
Somebody
'Cause
addicted.
Because lately, this past month, like a couple times a night, he would actually hop on and play with Michael and I. Like he'd play Apex with us. So I didn't know he was still playing Dota. I felt like he's been kind of like, other than school, he was just
Yeah, he graduates. He graduates
yeah.
in June or something like that.
Yeah,
He said after he graduates, he wants to come help me with the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm all, Pablo ain't gonna be happy, bro. But I'm down. I mean, I the more producers, the better. I think that they could just both be producers on it because
Yeah.
one can do one thing and the other can do the other.
Dude, why not? Especially since you ain't paying him. Take advantage.
I mean, Pablo's getting paid, but
Oh.
he ain't getting paid from me. I'm just kidding. No, what I'm thinking about doing with this thing, man, I'm thinking about trying to take this thing really seriously. Like I want to get like a studio.
Yeah.
Man. I'm building a studio in the house, but I want to do it outside of my house.
Well,
I'm thinking I've gotten to the point now where I have guests who I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You kind of have to, because your Walmart internet, it's cut out a few times.
Yeah, well, to do
and
live
so
stream.
even if yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, to take it to the next level would be offering that, like,
Live
having
stream.
I mean, you could do it on, you could live stream it to YouTube or whatever, but that, yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that here. Your HOA
probably have to-
internet is no good.
it's trash. Sorry, Courtyards.
It is no good.
Sorry. He said it, not me. I
yeah.
love it. I love your guys' internet.
It's
Dan.
boo boo.
I love it. I love your internet. Don't ever take it away from me. I love it.
No, it's driving me crazy.
It would drive me-
I keep seeing my stream say it's like reconnected. I'm like, oh no.
You know what? I think that if I was as serious about gaming as you are, I would take my internet more seriously. But I literally edit it and then I upload it into Dropbox, and then from Dropbox I load it into Libsyn, which is the shout out to Libsyn, even though I pay for your guys' service. Shout out to your guys' podcast hosting service. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh. Dude, we've done an hour and a half and we were BSing before.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, man. You want to keep going,
Yeah.
or the girl like
Well, I don't
smells
know.
like the garlic bread is done.
I saw Gabby pop her head in here,
Yeah,
like,
she totally
you guys
did.
are still at it?
You guys are talking about video
That's what
games
that's what-
again?
yeah. It's funny because we stopped talking about that for like 30, 40 minutes, and then she pops in the one time
That we're talking
it
about
came
video
back
games
up.
again. It's true. Yeah, we were talking about passions, Gabby. Come on. We were talking about our passions. I don't know, man. I'm writing a book too. I'm writing a book right now. I gotta do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what I found out? I found out that the reason why I talk so much and the reason why my personality is the way it is because I have like really high like anxiety. I found out that I have a really high anxiety and that I can get really depressed really fast.
Yeah.
I've gotten there a couple times. So I'm trying to keep myself going. That's my big thing right now. I'm like, what things are my passionate about, and I'm gonna go after all of them. That's why I found out. That was a lot of self-reflecting and prayer, and I'm like, the reason why I tell these little white lies and the reason why I do all these stupid things is because have really low self-esteem and have really high anxiety, and I need to actually do these things that I'm passionate about. So that's why I started this. I love it.
I talk more
Hey, but it
openly
works
about I talk more openly about my mental health issues now having this than I did when I was in church and stuff. It's like this is my platform to say to like be able to get it all out there.
Yeah.
And it helps too. It helps. My mind's not all over the place with this. And I'm like I said, and I got this his children's book's done already. I already have that one done. I'm gonna, I just need to. There's some things that are getting finalized right now, and then I have this novel that I've been writing too. That's probably a year out from being done, but
Yeah.
that's my thing.
Yeah, no, that's
So
that's good though. I mean, at least you know, it's like, yeah, you understand and, you know, like you keep yourself busy and that's what helps you out, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
more power to you to do that. Like keep doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I just don't have enough time to do anything, right? Like it's
I don't
I don't
either.
know.
I mean, I try to find it. That's the reason why, like, I popped dinner in before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I'm gonna have to do life in the middle of doing the podcast. So,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. And then I think eventually you make it, and then you go to it like it's your normal job, right?
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is like, I really, really need to go after this stuff because what I've found through all of this is that I get depressed when I'm not doing stuff that I'm really passionate about, like I'm really in love with.
Yeah.
And I love this, man. These conversations, I love having these conversations, and it's doubly special to do it with people that I know, like
Yeah.
you, like being my brother, and Mikey Diamonds. I'm friends with him, and it's also cool to have people I don't know, having like Oleg come on, who I know him, but I don't know him. And then I'm going to have like these other, I have an environmental scientist that I'm having on pretty soon. She's coming on. I don't know her from Adam. So, or Eve, I should say maybe. But I'm going to have, that's the reason why we're, Ashley has been supportive about like me building this studio, which is cool but I need to get it out of the house. Eventually, it's my goal. My only goal for this podcast is to be able to have it not in the house.
Yeah.
It's not a sad goal.
to not have it in the house.
That's such a sad goal, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should wrap it because it sounds like the plates are being thrown around.
I heard plates and forks and.
Yeah. So, do you have a Twitter?
Actually, I think I do. If it is, it's the same thing. It'll be Lazy
plug it.
Paniolo.
Plug your Twitter, plug your Instagram, and then plug your Twitch, man. Because you're gonna gain. Hopefully, you have a huge influx of watchers.
Yeah, no. So definitely, if you want to help me out, I'm trying to get to that affiliate and partner status on Twitch. You can go to twitch.tv/LazyPaniolo. That's LazyPaniolo. And that'll be the same handle for Instagram, will be Lazy Paniolo. And my Twitter, which I think I have, I just don't use, it's same thing, Lazy Paniolo.
Go find him. Hit that subscribe button. Help my brother out, man. Let's get him chasing those dreams too, guys. Cool, man. Well, thank you for coming on. We're gonna go eat some grub, and we'll get you back on. Cool.
Yep, I'll be back.